get started, the first thing you're going to need is some newspaper or an old tablecloth, really anything you can use that will protect your table from the shaving cream and whatever paint you decide to use. Next, you're going to need a pan or a tray that's large enough to fit whatever you're marbling. And today I'm going to be using paper. I would recommend using a thick cardstock paper. Make sure when you're choosing something to marble, you're choosing something thick and sturdy. If the paper is too thin, the paper could rip when it gets too soggy. Next, you're going to need a ruler or a squeegee or something similar to that you can use to wipe off the shaving cream. Next, you're going to need regular shaving cream and then a stick or the end of a paintbrush or really anything with a point that you can use to swirl around the shaving cream and the color. As for your paint, it's really up to you. You can really do anything. Today I'm going to be using gel food coloring and acrylic paints. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to take your pan and you're going to fill it with a layer of shaving cream. And just a tip, you want to use normal shaving cream with no gel or moisturizers. The gel and moisturizers is just going to add extra stuff that you don't want and it'll affect the paper and the color. So try to stick to normal shaving cream. Next, you're going to take your ruler and you're going to use the ruler to smooth out the bumps in the shaving cream and give yourself a nice smooth surface so that your pattern comes out a lot more crisp. For this round, I'm using gel food coloring, and I'm just taking the food coloring and dripping random dots wherever I want. And then next, I'm taking the end of my paintbrush and using it to swirl all the colors around. This is really the fun part, so have fun with it. Drop color wherever you feel like it, and just have fun swirling it around. When you have a design that you like, you're going to take your paper and you're going to press it into the shaving cream very lightly and just try to tap it around and make sure that the full surface of the paper is touching the shaving cream. Make sure you don't leave the paper in there for too long because it'll get too soggy and then the paper will start to rip. So after you have your design pressed in, you're going to lift up the paper from the corner very carefully. And then you're going to place your finished design on top of a piece of wax paper or newspaper or really whatever you want. And then you're going to take your ruler and you're going to start at a corner and you're just going to wipe off the shaving cream in one wipe. So this is what the final design using food coloring looks like. The colors are a little bit more runny and look more like watercolors. They're not as crisp. So after you're finished with this round, you can scrape out the shaving cream and then just add a new layer in. You don't have to clean out the pan totally, just make sure it's mostly rid of the color. For this round, I'm going to be using acrylic paint, and it's the same process as last time. I'm just dropping acrylic paint wherever I feel like it and then mixing that together with the ends of my paintbrush. We're just repeating the same process. I'm going to take the paper and lightly press it into the shaving cream and make sure I rub it around so that the shaving cream is fully touching the paper. And then you're going to pull out the paper and you're going to let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes. And then we're going to wipe off the shaving cream with the ruler and voila. So with the acrylic paint I noticed comes out looking a lot more crisp, but the paint does have a tendency to smudge sometimes, so be careful. You might want to let it sit for a little bit longer if you're using older acrylic paints or thicker acrylic paints. If you notice any warping in your paper after the paper is dried, you can place the warped paper under heavy weights to flatten it.